It's small thing in life that changes our life, right? So
I
you
can
said,
lose everything
yeah.
for this
So,
problem.
so you said you got incarcerated for 3 days,
Hmm.
all because somebody else picked a fight on you and you couldn't do anything and you were arrested, right?
Hmm.
Last week, I was school vacation week. My kids, my eldest one is still in college. My middle one, my youngest one, we all went to New Hampshire with their father. So Thursday they keep saying, "Mom, we want at least one day with our friends. And can we go back home early?" So my husband wants to leave on the Friday. On Thursday, I had to transport. I decided to give up my vacation because I want to really be there for them.
Hmm.
So I'm bringing them back. And when I am in charge, still my husband would control how I parent. And this has been going on forever. It's not like a new thing. So my kids don't usually respect me. And I have had issues in the past, but this is the one I signed up for. My youngest one, when I was pregnant with him 15 years ago, my husband called the police to teach me a lesson, and because he called first, he became the victim. I was the abuser. I was homeless one night.
Wow.
So I wrote a book, Boring Way to Be Happy with a Dysfunction Family. So we live like this. So I'm just telling, and my middle one gives me an attitude. So I told him, what is the problem? So he says, you do not do what dad does. I said, what type of a mother you want me to be? He says, I need to cook for him and I need to understand where he is at. He could see how dad always checks in, but I don't. So he takes it against me. So I, in my mind, was thinking I don't need to be compulsive about they are healthy. Because it's important to him, I want to ask him, hey, would you check in with me tonight? Like I was bringing them back before I leave them at home, 9 o'clock, to just say where you are hanging. That's all. I don't even need him to ask me permission because we have gone to that level. He refused. And I said, in that case, I'm going to turn right back and go back to New Hampshire. I said, either you listen to me or you listen to your dad. You stay there. And he jumped out of a running car. So I ended up calling the police because if he gets hurt, it's on me. And my husband will immediately use that to enforce me so I will be thrown out because he will have consequences for my behavior. And so when the police came, my son says, I do not want to go back to New Hampshire. And they told me he is 18 and they're going to arrest me for kidnapping.
Wow.
That's what this country is.
Mm.
So then I said to him, I cannot believe you are doing this. And then I told the police, I said, I'm appalled at you. I'm telling you, 15 years ago when I was pregnant, my husband called the police and you guys made me homeless. He says, oh, it didn't happen on my watch. It's 15 years ago. I said, this is considered abuse. I said, I cannot believe you guys are here not supporting the system. Like I'm trying to parent and you're discrediting me right in front of my son. So there was a elder police officer and he says to my son, are you still living with your parents? He says, yes. He says, wouldn't it be respectful when they feed you and clothe you for you to at least be courteous to the person who's providing the care? So he says, if I get into the car, I'm afraid she's going to drive back. So they block my car. One cop on top, cop on the bottom. They said, don't worry, you can call your dad now. And even after he got into the car, he called his dad. So what is my point then? I'm just like a transport. So then afterwards, right, he calls my husband, and my husband, says, so they talk and they said, guess what? Mom called the cops on me. So then my husband says, put the phone to her. So he says, Basu, he'll have like the stone. I said, I need only answer for two things. Are you going to come home tonight or am I coming to New Hampshire? That's all I want. I said, no, the conversation. He says, neither is happening. I hung up. I told him, that's it. And I said, we are going back. He says, he refused. I said, okay. So he got out of it with his bag. He went back home. My youngest one tried to get out. I said, no, you're still in my custody. I said, if you do not go back, because I went to the other office to sleep, and I said, if you do not come back with me, I'm going to go to court and file custody for you. Because I said I should have done this 15 years ago.
I know.
I took out my wedding ring,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, that's it. I said to my husband, hey, you can be my cute boyfriend, but that's it. Marriage originally was there and done. So what I'm saying is, and then you know what I'm finding? If in case they stay in my home, the fridge is empty, I'll be arrested for abandonment. If in case I transport them against their will, I'll be arrested. So I need to provide for them. But still, my husband, when he comes home, I said, hey, I'm going to file for divorce. I said, that way, like, you know, at least I'll know exactly what my responsibility is with adult kids because it's not working. So he says to me, then you need to get out. I need to protect my kids. I said, okay, when do you want me to leave? Tonight? So, because I'm paying for the mortgage, he has the rules. I said, it's not working for me. So he says, then, what are you doing this for? I said, I have kids who has no respect for me. And I said, if by chance you want me to co-parent, you cannot interfere. You know, you really need to understand. I also have rights. You cannot manage crisis from another state. You know,
Yeah.
so I told my son, I said, what do you want me to be in future for you? Mom, just give me money. That's all I want. That's all he said. So I'm telling him, I said, even though you say that, until you turn 21, I need to put you through college and I need to do all these things. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to be your mother.
Yeah.
So I told him, and so he says, go for it. So you know what my husband says? You need to be so grateful he didn't say, Mom, I never want to see you again. And I'm saying, this is bullshit, you know, in this country.
I know. I
Do you
know.
have kids?
Yes, I have
How
two
old?
teenagers.
Teenagers, do they listen to you?
Mm-hmm.
But they are better
good
than
boys. Good boys.
because I think for us, we are coming to a turning point. I told my son, I said, you showed excellent skills of being free. But I said, freedom is not independent. Until you show me you can pay for your own rent, you can pay for your school. I said, I cannot afford to take back my parenting. You know, it's like, how can I cannot worry about him being homeless? And
Yeah, I know.
it's like,
I see a lot of people home here in Rome.
you know, I think the legal system is very hurtful in this country. Instead of keeping the family together, it tears us apart with this all these rules and regulations. And so once upon a time, American family was able to talk to each other free. Not anymore. You know, you have like always the legal thing like you're interfering. So that's where I'm at today. Like, you know, I feel no support, but still I have to marry.
Yeah.
It's like, and my husband, his famous statement is, oh, actually, I shouldn't call him husband anymore. My baby father. I'm like saying, I'm giving him a new title. So my baby father, he says he, his children, so four of them agree I'm insane. So it means since they are majority, something wrong with me.
Okay. Mm.
How would you handle it?
Huh?
How would you handle it if it was you?
Understand.
If by chance your kids oppose you, how would you handle it?
How? I don't know how to explain in English. It's hard.
How do you find help with your teenage kids? If they have a problem, what do you do?
I can explain in Spanish because
Yeah.
you know my English.
So what would you do?
I speak with my kids about everything, and he not listen. No phone.
Oh, so you do you do.
No phone. No TV.
So you have consequences.
Mm-hmm.
But for an 18-year-old, it doesn't work though. How old do they say?
16.
16. See, 16 they are still in custody of your custody, but 18 they don't care.
I know. Mommy, I gotta go.
Okay.
gotta go feed some